Welcome to PHT Cafe. I'm Edwin.
And I am Danny.
And we're here as we come to you all the time to bring information about real estate and a little bit of fun.
Other nonsense.
Another nonsense.
What's up, bud? How are you?
What's up, bud? I'm good. How are you?
Doing good.
I love how we act like we just sat down and started talking. We've been here for like 30 minutes. We could have done three other shows.
How are you? Things. Just kidding. You already told me.
Yeah. So I wanted to explain to people that maybe have never seen the show or they started seeing it recently with our reboot. Everything's a reboot nowadays. What PHT stands for. Because I'm like, what if they're probably like, what the hell is PHT? Oh, yeah, because
the company's name is different. Yeah, that makes sense.
So we used to work, I used to own a company called PHT, which was Perez Home Team, because we're both, it was because I'm Perez.
Yeah, he names everything after himself, if you haven't noticed.
And then when Danny moved down from New York, you know, obviously you're Perez too, so it kind of worked.
Yeah.
And then we did our show, PHT Cafe. It was kind of to promote the company, obviously.
Yes.
So we named it after the company, and we still have the mugs. So we're like, you know what? Let's still call it PHT Cafe
because that's what it was. It was because we didn't want to buy new cups.
Exactly. We just want another $20.
So we have these cups.
No, obviously it's because we didn't want to lose our crazy following.
Yeah, we have 6 people that we need to.
We want to make sure they don't lose it. They're gonna search PHT Cafe. They're like, "Perate, they changed the name.
I can't find them. Help."
So yeah, I think it's probably because we were just attached to it.
Yeah,
I guess
maybe a little bit of emotional attachment. We did a lot of those. There was we have 20 something episodes.
No,
30 episodes.
30 episodes. Yeah, you can check them out on the YouTube channel under Classic. PHT Cafe episodes, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
They're called Classic.
I wouldn't suggest it. I'd leave it alone.
Don't. Yeah, please don't. We should have changed the name.
Yeah, live and let die.
Look at that. Scam Likely. Does she ever call you
Scam Likely?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
She calls everybody.
Dude, I get calls from New York where it's just in Chinese.
Really?
Yeah, it's always a 646 number, so I don't answer it. But the voicemail is always just straight Chinese. I'm like, I don't understand.
It's warranties expired. Scam Likely is always calling, obviously. And also lately, I've been getting a ton of texts.
Oh yeah. Text that'll just say hey. Like, what am I, a college girl?
Yeah.
Like, what do you
a group of 20.
You up?
Hey. Hey. And then, you get to report it or whatever, your text messages now. Report junk.
I don't reply. I just ignore it.
It's so dumb. I hate it. I hate it so much. Anyway, so what's up with you, bud?
Nothing. Just hanging out. Something I actually wanted to talk to you about was do you get trolls on any of your social media posts yet? Like, has that started happening to you?
Yeah. Every once in a while, yeah.
I've started to get through the business page because we post a lot of instructional videos, maintenance videos, things like that, just to kind of get the following going. And dude, and it's so funny how, we follow social media gurus and stuff who are always like, don't worry about the comments, don't read the comments. And I read it every time and I'm like, it's so good. One was, the most recent one was, I was showing, there was a pipe leaking behind a toilet, right? And there was a mushroom growing out of it, out of the wall. And that's so cool. So I made a little video about the mushroom growing out or whatever, and I called the shutoff valve a cutoff valve. Those are the two differences. So in plumbing, it's called a shutoff valve because you're shutting the water off, right? Okay. Cutoff would be for electrical, you cut that off, the current, right? And that was the guy was like, it's not even called a cutoff valve. You know less than most handymen. That was his comment. Bro, I was ready. Bro. I was like, oh, you about to go, bro? I went to his thing, brand new to Instagram, no posts.
Yeah, it's always
somebody like that. Somebody who's just sitting at home, just sad and bored. Yeah. And I try to remind myself your life is better than this person's. That is why you don't do things like that. Just looking for people to shit on.
It's super lame, yeah.
It's so weird. It's so weird. But yeah, that happened to me.
Yeah, I've had stuff they'll just comment on the house beautiful home. It's not that beautiful. Okay.
That's so good.
Sorry.
That's so good.
But you're right. Yeah. As if. I've seen better. Okay.
I've seen better.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's crazy. Trolls, like you said, it's just a specific type of people that just I guess have, like you said, have nothing to do, or they just get a kick out of it.
Yeah,
they might be like super rich, super busy people that just like
I doubt
trolling
that very highly. I doubt that very highly.
Me too.
Yeah, they're just like spreading some hate, just a little bit of hate.
Yeah.
Wake up in the morning and
Scoop it up.
scoop it on up. It's like, who else can I insult?
Yeah, but it's true.
I've seen nicer.
We've seen so many times where, like, I sent you a post yesterday from Gary Vee, and he's like, "I'm gonna keep it simple. Stop giving a shit about what anybody says.
Yeah,
that's it. You want to be successful? You saw that one?
Yeah."
And you're just like, that's it, man. Because so many times, and still, we've been listening to Gary Vee for years.
Yeah, years and years.
Still, sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna post this, and I'm like, you know what? No, I don't do it, and it's because of that. Because like, man, but what are people gonna think? And I have to remember Gary Vee.
I definitely stopped caring. I used to be really weird about it. I was like, no, do it like this, do it like that. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's good. So for all you trolls out there, eat shit.
Eat shit. But leave me alone.
Except he's the one that said that. Bring it. I'm ready for you. Okay, well, what do you want to talk about today?
You know what? We just went through, obviously, depending on when you're listening to this or watching this, we just had a hurricane come through Florida.
Yes. What was the hurricane's name?
Ian.
Hurricane Ian. Okay.
From One Direction.
You can tell that he has daughters.
Yes, I do.
I hope. I hope that's why. Because I have no idea what he's talking about.
That's why. It's my daughters. Melody, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Hurricane Ian came through fall, right? It's fall of 2022 in Florida. And it was funny because I was thinking about the hurricane because we were in Anna Maria Island, west coast of Florida.
Yeah, right before.
Right before. And the news started coming out, oh, this hurricane. And it was literally like I hadn't even touched Cuba. And I'm like, oh my God, they're exaggerating already. This hurricane is like a week away and they're already talking about it. Bro, it came.
Yeah. But that's something that's interesting because I was talking about it to people. On, people always talk about those who live on the coast and they didn't evacuate and all that stuff. And it's like, but we haven't had a strong hurricane for 5 years. And even that one wasn't that bad. The last time we got and I'm speaking specifically for Central Florida.
Yeah.
The last time we got something like that was like 2004, 2005.
Yeah, you guys were talking about it,
Yeah. That was the last time we actually got hit with Hurricane Charlie that really messed things up.
Right.
So I think people were really just like, it's the fear-mongering fatigue, right? Like the way that they put the news about the hurricane, it's not like, here are how strong the winds are. This is where it'll be. This is what you should do. It's like Hurricane Ian is sacrificing children in Cuba. Like
Exactly.
What? Hurricane Ian now worships the devil. That's what they're putting on the news. So I think everybody was just kind of like, yeah, this is what you always say.
Yeah, exactly.
And nothing really happens. Central Florida's always
we
pretty much okay.
over-prepare, and then the hurricane it's a little bit of rain, a little bit of wind.
We drill plywood into our stucco. Now our stucco's messed up for no reason. Yeah. So, after a bunch of years of that happening, I think people were just kind of like, it'll probably turn and go ruin Louisiana again. And it did not.
It did not turn.
It did not turn.
Lucky for Louisiana. And too bad for the west coast of Florida.
Yeah,
really they were even saying, it was funny because it was like 155 miles per hour to be which is a category 4, which is it's crazy, right? It's
that's
really bad. But there's a category 5, which starts at 156. But they won't tell you it's category 4. They're like an almost category 5, the strongest. Like, can you just tell us what it actually is? Like, that's enough.
Yeah, 155 is enough.
We don't have to. You don't have to tell us how bad it could be.
Yeah.
How's it going, bud? So the hurricane came through. Obviously, a lot of devastation, and this is a real estate show. So we wanted to talk about a little bit about how it affected the industries, right? And it didn't affect it in just one way. Obviously, you coming from the inspections world, what are you seeing? Because usually hurricanes, when they hit this strong, at least, we see impacts besides the damage, but in the industry almost immediately. What are you seeing?
As far as industry goes, obviously a lot of insurance inspections is what we've been getting, because there's a lot of people out there that have damage that they didn't necessarily inspect. And what we were talking about with Rich earlier, of a lot of people in Orlando don't have flood insurance. We don't have a lot of flood zones in this city, and a lot of people got flooded. I have a client who was on the street that I grew up on. You're old, so you didn't grow up there, but but on the street that the one who's 10 years younger, grew up on.
That's not fair without context. But go ahead.
the whole street flooded. Like, they called me and they were like, "We don't know how it's possible, but we got 12 inches of water inside the house." They were rescued by a boat.
What?
By a boat, dude. That's so in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Where did that water even come from?
Yeah.
That's real Pennar Lake sooner or later. I was like, man, like, that's so. And dude, they lost everything. The realtor, she went to see them to see how it was, and she said she was driving through her neighborhood, and everybody had their car doors open because all the cars flooded. Everybody had their furniture and stuff on their lawns. So I think it was a surprise for sure. My house, just to give an example of just randomness, right? Water came up from the floor, not from outside.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Like this. So my house is built originally from the 40s, but redone in 2020. Additions made and stuff. It looks brand new. You walk up to my house, you think it's a brand new house.
Yeah.
But the foundation itself is from the 1940s. And that was made apparent during the storm because water came up from the ground. And I only noticed because I was walking through and I felt like squishes because I have hardwood floors.
God, yeah.
And I was like, what the hell, dude? Oh, it's all warped. And that is, I feel very lucky. A couple warped floorboards. Everybody was fine. Nothing significant got damaged. I'm all good on that. But yeah, just the surprising effects that happened, which was just like the flooding, man. So wild.
Yeah, because the things, hurricanes, most people think about hurricanes, they think about those winds, right? Because that's all usually what they focus on, right?
That's what happened with Charlie.
155. Yeah,
I lived in that neighborhood during Charlie. And we had down trees and stuff. And our pool pump randomly broke. My dad broke that shit. He broke that shit. He did. He did. He broke it. He was like, oh my God, the hurricane, But yeah, it's just so wild that it was flooding this time instead.
This time it's just water. Yeah. So it causes all the damage. You have the insurance claims and stuff like that. You have folks like our dad that broke things.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of that. People just like breaking things. Well, specifically because these insurance companies are just like, well, you're not in a flood zone. Sorry. And they're like, oh no, it came through my window. See? Oh man, crazy. So yeah, people feeling desperate almost because they've lost everything, and their insurance companies are like, but we don't insure you specifically like that. Wow. Sorry,
So where do you come into play? Do people contact you, now that they have this damage? How do you what do you do as far as a service that you provide for customers after a storm passes?
Yeah, it just depends on what their needs are, right? So we could do roof inspections. We're doing damage assessments just to, if you have certain water damage in certain areas or things like that, we just make an official report licensed to send to the insurance company so they can see, this was done by a professional who's licensed in the state. And that's it. And just a lot of advice. I've been getting a lot of phone calls of people who just want advice on things. One of which, there's a realtor who wanted to get a group of people together and contacted us to help those clients from the old neighborhood because she was just like, she couldn't sleep because of it. She's like, oh my God, like everything is just, they lost everything. They literally moved into this house a month ago and they've lost everything. That's rough. She's like, I'm going to get people together, we'll redo their floors, do some drywall, whatever. We'll all donate and we'll be able to do that. And I had to tell her, like, if they're trying to get an insurance claim right now, you can't fix it because the insurance company will send their inspector. And if it's fixed, they'll be like, case closed, and they just won't do anything.
Ooh,
and a lot of people don't know about that. But if you have damage that you're trying to get covered in a claim, you cannot fix it. You got to leave it like that until they give you the money. It's wild and just unfair, but that is what's happening.
Yeah. So if you have damage, just wait until...
Just go through find yourself what is it? The adjuster. Find yourself an adjuster. They're all very busy right now, but there's tons of them. And just somebody to help you fight for your claim and try to get whatever you can because... which is dangerous because, a lot of this flooding damage leads to mold. And you got people waiting with mold in their house. It's just wild,
It's risky.
Wild stuff.
So it's a wild thing. This hurricane definitely was not expected to do all of this. Obviously, we fared very well compared to the people on the West Coast
we're very
because,
lucky.
I mean, there was, way too many lives lost in that storm. They were ravaged, right? I saw photos of before and afters that I couldn't even believe that it was like the United States. It was like there was a town there, now there isn't. It's funny because I saw one of the aerial shots and it looked very similar to the area we were staying at a week prior in Anna Maria Island, where they have the little hotels, the Airbnbs,
we were right on the beach.
the restaurants right on the beach. And they showed a before and after of a location there just south of where we were, and it was just gone. I was like, what in the world? It's crazy. So we were very lucky here in Central Florida. Like Central Florida, Orlando area, the West Coast really got it. Now, the way it's affected myself as far as real estate, right, realtors and real estate brokers and things like that, is that obviously the market, I mean, it's a hurricane, right? Everybody's shut down. So that week, it's almost like, okay, it's just a wash, right? No one's looking at homes. Listings aren't getting shown, obviously. So I had a couple listings that, obviously all the showings stopped and things like that. But not only that, we actually had a house that went under contract right before the storm. And because of the damage, right, by Hurricane Ian, and because of the interest rates that just happened to also have gone up at the same time.
Because only we were hit with a hurricane.
Exactly.
So the federal rates.
So the rates were already going up. So this buyer that we were under contract with was no longer qualified for the amount that he qualified just days prior, right, to the rates going up. And insurance claims, hitting an all-time high here in Florida. So the qualification for him just went out the door, and the bank said, "Oh, you don't qualify for this anymore. Now you qualify for this amount," which completely took him out of the contract, and that contract fell through. And I cried. So it was bad. So we all get affected, right? Because obviously, as you were mentioning, all these insurance claims are coming through now, and because of that, some companies straight up in the past have stopped writing new policies in Florida altogether, right? Because they just can't handle the claims coming through. And some of them, they know, well, if these guys are leaving, they jack up those premiums up there. So are you seeing that as well? Are you hearing stories like that from customers?
Yeah, for sure. The whole company's just pulling out of Florida.
Yeah.
Like, we can't make money in a place we actually have to pay people.
Yeah. What do you think we are, an insurance company?
Yeah, get out of town. That's not how this works. So yes, I've heard lots of things like that. Yeah. It's just crazy times, man.
Yeah. So if you're looking to buy a home, obviously that's one of those things that you have to consider. It's funny because, like you said, I would say most areas, at least where we work, flood insurance is not required. Right. So people, so obviously if you get, the more insurance you get, the higher your payment's going to be, your mortgage payment. So people are always trying to make that payment low. So if you tell them, well, it's not required, you can get flood insurance, which is not very expensive, but you don't have to. So most people are like, well, if I don't have to, I'm not getting it. But now it's like something to think about. And I'm sure the flood zone maps are going to change here very soon.
Yes. Yeah, they're definitely going to change.
Yeah, those insurance companies are definitely going to shoot for to reduce that flood zone X, as they call it. Flood zone X is the area where it supposedly doesn't flood, so you don't require flood insurance. Yeah.
All right. Well, cool.
Thank you. See you next time.
But yeah, so if you guys have any questions or anything, in need of a home inspector for insurance claims or just anything, if you just want some advice, if you want to just shoot a picture over and say, hey, why does this look like that? I'll let you know. Yeah. I'm always around.
Awesome. Yeah, Cosmos Inspections. Anything else going on with you, bro?
Not for this episode.
Same here. We have to shoot another one sometime later in the future.
Yes. I'll be wearing a different shirt.
I like this shirt, though.
Shake my hand and let's leave.
Wait. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to promote our company. So just say a little 30-second blurb about Cosmos real quick. And action.
30 seconds. Cosmos Inspections. That's what my logo looks like. Home inspections. All of them.
Not all of the homes, all of the inspections.
All the inspections, yes.
So with EDWINJ Perez Real Estate Group, brokered by eXp Realty, this is my cute little golden logo.
Golden.
So anything you need as far as real estate, investments, buying, selling, hit me up. We have the whole the whole shebang here.
The home team.
The home team.
One would say.
Perez home team. Let us take. Ooh, I can't even say it. I can't even get it out.
That. I never liked it when you said it before.
Shut up, yes he did. Yeah, he did. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I've been Edwin.
And I've been Danny. Are you flexing while you're doing that?
I am. I'm trying.
I know you are. I see it.